Telepathic gift to become a millionaire. Here's how to use it. My dear friends, tonight I share with you something few are ready to hear, and even fewer are prepared to understand. But if you receive it in the spirit, I deliver it. It shall be unto you the key to a fortune, the unveiling of a power you've long possessed, but buried beneath the rubble of doubt, fear, and disbelief. What I speak of is not fantasy, nor is it magic in the sense the world perceives. It is the divine law working as you, in you, and through you, your telepathic gift. You were born with it. It is not the privilege of a chosen few, nor reserved for sages in the mountains or mystics in temples. It is your inheritance. As surely as you breathe, as surely as the sun rises, this gift is in operation in your life. But like a garden left untended, it grows wild, unless governed by your conscious awareness. The power of thought, of assumption, of belief. These are not passive faculties. They are instruments of creation. The telepathic gift is the infinite connection between your inner world and the world around you. It is not something to be acquired. It is something to be awakened. You have, even now, this divine wireless within you, tuned not to sound or frequency as man knows it, but to vibration, to emotion, to assumption. The moment you feel a thing deeply and accept it as true, you are telepathically projecting it into the universe. Let no one deceive you into believing wealth comes by outer effort alone. The drudgery of labor without direction is but slavery. The true millionaires, the builders of empires, those whose names echo through generations, they have all known, consciously or not, that riches are magnetized through an inner vision long before they crystallize in the world of form. When you imagine, you are sowing. When you persist in imagination, you are watering the seed. But when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live in the end, when you dwell in the state of already having, it is then, and only then, that you speak to the universe in its native tongue. That is telepathy. The universe does not listen to words. It listens to feeling. It listens to belief. It listens to the self you dare to become. Now hear me well. Every man, every woman, every circumstance in your world is yourself pushed out. There is no other. If you walk through life believing wealth is far, you send out that message to all, and they, receiving it, confirm it back to you. It is not that they decide to do so. It is that your telepathic emission dictates their behavior. You think they are separate. I tell you they are not. They move to the rhythm of your inner assumptions. So if you wish to be a millionaire, do not seek to manipulate others, nor bend the world to your will through force. That is the way of the blind. Instead, assume within yourself the feeling of already being the one who has what he seeks. Live in the consciousness of the rich man, not in the hope of becoming one. The difference is infinite. Hope delays. Faith manifests. Imagine now that your bank account overflows. See the numbers. Hear the tones of bankers speaking respectfully to you. Taste the sweetness of success. Feel the texture of fine things, clothing, furniture, places you travel. Do not beg for them. Become the one who already possesses them in consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality. Suppose you close your eyes each night and enter a silent meditation, not a plea, not a cry, but a knowing. You lie there still and assume the feeling, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am a magnet to money. If you persist in this inner communion with the self you choose to be, the world must conform. Not may, not might. It must. For the law is perfect and unbreakable. What we call telepathy is not merely mind reading or thought transmission. It is the silent agreement between souls. When you embody wealth, others feel it even without your words. They begin to treat you as valuable. They offer opportunities, speak your name in rooms of influence, connect you to channels of prosperity. They do not know why, they simply feel drawn to do so. That is the gift. That is the invisible thread, linking your inner state with the outer world. But you must first believe that it is so. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The one who denies his power delays his inheritance. The one who assumes it steps into dominion. There is no in-between. The world is a mirror. If you see lack, it is because you broadcast lack. If you see delay, it is because you dwell in waiting. If you experience poverty, it is because you hold an image of yourself as less than you truly are. No man is poor but he who chooses to remain unconscious of his wealth within. You can be rich, not by might, nor by power but by the Spirit dwelling within you, the Spirit that is you. Begin to speak silently to yourself as the one who has. In every quiet moment, reaffirm, I am rich, I am blessed, I am provided for abundantly. Let this inner dialogue replace the outer noise of doubt, for your subconscious, which holds the key to manifestation, does not argue. It accepts what you impress upon it as fact. Your job is not to figure out how the money will come, nor from whom. Your job is to know it is already yours, and walk in that knowing. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates all. When you send out the telepathic message of abundance, the universe rearranges itself. Doors open, ideas come, chance meetings align. But these are not coincidences. They are echoes of your inner world. Do not be deceived by appearances. A man may have little in his hand today, but be a millionaire in mind, and soon in fact. Another may have millions in the bank, but live in fear, and soon lose all. The seed is not in the soil, it is in the soul. Guard it, nourish it, cultivate the rich man within, and the riches without must appear. Understand also this: feeling is the secret. Not thinking alone, not wishing, not speaking but feeling. When you feel wealth as real, your inner state becomes magnetic. Your telepathic field expands. You begin to draw to you all that harmonizes with your vibration. Money is not something you chase. It is something you attract by who you become. Let us take it further. Begin now to see yourself as one others seek for answers. See yourself as the one investors trust, as the voice of prosperity. Imagine deals flowing to you, not from effort but from your very presence. Imagine clients calling you, banks approving you, opportunities greeting you like old friends. And as you imagine it, let it be sweet. Let it thrill you. Let it become more real than what your senses now report. For your senses lie. They are always behind the truth. The truth is what you imagine and feel as real. That is the first cause. That is where reality begins. Everything else is a shadow. I have said it before and I say it now. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption, and watch the world bow before your dream. Not because it is submissive, but because it is obedient to law. The telepathic gift is your sacred inheritance. Every great one has used it. They imagined themselves into power. They believed they were born for greatness, and so greatness wrapped itself around them like a robe. You too can wear such a robe. But first you must claim it in consciousness. You need not share this secret with all. Many will not understand. They will laugh or dismiss it. But you are not here to convince. You are here to become. And in your becoming, you will be a living testimony that the unseen world is the only cause. Tonight before you sleep, close your eyes and enter the silence. Shut out the world. Breathe deeply and slow. And in that stillness, hear the voice within whisper, you are rich. You are chosen. You are meant to prosper. Feel the truth of those words. Repeat them not as an incantation, but as a remembrance. For you are not becoming something you are not. You are remembering who you've always been. I tell you, this power knows no limitation. It works beyond borders, beyond time, beyond resistance. The telepathic gift is divine mind, transmitting your fulfilled desire to all of creation. As you continue to live from that end, the entire field of experience bends to fit your inner conviction. You may begin with small things, a gift, an unexpected deposit, a favorable conversation. But do not despise small beginnings. Each one is a stepping stone. Each one is confirmation that the law works. And as you persist, the small will become great, and the great will become greater. Do not concern yourself with the opinions of others. Most are walking in sleep, unaware of their own power. But you are awake. You are remembering. You are claiming. And soon what you feel within will become so vivid without, you'll marvel that it was once only a vision. The gift has always been yours. It is not outside of you. It is not in a book, or a course, or a guru. It is in your awareness. It is in your attention. It is in the feelings you dare to claim as your own. Millionaires are not born. They are imagined. They are conceived first in the heart, then in the world. You are conceiving now, and what you conceive you shall birth. So walk now as the one who is rich, not arrogant, not boastful, but certain, assured, graceful. Let your presence speak before your words. Let your energy declare, I am wealth. I am abundance. I am fulfillment embodied. Then watch, my friend, as the world begins to echo back your silent decree. As you walk through life wearing this invisible garment of wealth, you'll notice something curious. People respond to you differently. Not because you announced your change, not because you shared your vision with the world, but because your inner state now sends out a signal so strong, so vivid, that it cannot be ignored. The world senses the shift, even if it cannot explain it. Situations bend in your favor. Meetings arise from nowhere. Money seems to find its way to you, without strain, without toil. But this is not chance. This is not luck. This is law. This is the unseen hand of your telepathic communication pulling into your orbit all that harmonizes with your assumption. You may wake one morning to an email that changes your financial destiny. A stranger may recommend you. A business may call. A debt may be cancelled. But understand this. It was all set in motion the moment you changed within. You no longer cry for miracles. You become the miracle. You no longer wait for signs. You are the sign. You no longer knock on doors. They open before you arrive. Every time you go within and assume the state of the one who is already a millionaire, you plant another seed in the fertile soil of the universe. And these seeds do not die. They grow. Some take days. Some take weeks. Some take months. But all of them respond to the certainty with which you planted them. Doubt uproots, fear freezes, but conviction, that is the sun, the rain, the divine force that accelerates growth. If at any moment the world tries to show you a reflection that contradicts your inner wealth, do not panic, do not yield, do not return to the old man. Instead, remember the truth. Appearances are the last to change. The echo is always behind the sound, and the sound, the cause, is your imagination. So persist. Persist with joy. Persist with power. Persist with playfulness. The universe is not punishing. It is patient. It waits on you to believe. It waits on you to receive. And when you do, all the riches of heaven and earth rush in to meet you. This is the gift. Not merely to think but to feel. Not merely to hope but to know. Not merely to ask but to receive, by becoming the one who already has. The beauty of this telepathic gift is that it knows no bounds of age, background, education, or circumstance. It is not concerned with what you've done or what has happened to you. It is concerned only with what you are willing to accept as true now. This very moment, you can change the direction of your financial destiny. Not tomorrow, not after you've read one more book or listened to one more teacher. Now, for the moment you accept wealth as your birthright, you align with all the forces that bring it into being. No longer do you walk like a beggar in a kingdom where you are meant to rule. You take your place, not through arrogance, but through divine confidence. You become one who does not chase, but attracts. Not because you manipulate, but because you radiate. Think of the sun. It does not ask the planets to revolve around it. It simply shines, and in shining it draws all into its orbit. So must you shine with the inner light of wealth, joy, and assurance. And the people, the resources, the ideas, the timing, all begin to revolve around you, as if by some divine choreography. But this dance is not random. It is a reflection of your inner radiance. Every day, return to this truth. In the quiet moments, reaffirm the state you have chosen. Let it become your dwelling place. Let it color the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you see the world. For the man who believes he is rich carries himself differently. He expects differently. He receives differently. And because he has changed, the world must change with him. Never again say, I hope I become rich. Say instead, I am rich in consciousness now, and wealth comes to me easily and freely. Never again say, if only I had. Say instead, it is mine already in the unseen, and will soon appear in the seen. This is how the gift works. It bypasses logic. It overrides circumstance. It is governed by feeling, and only feeling. You are not waiting for money. Money is waiting for you to align. You are not waiting for opportunity. Opportunity is waiting for your vibration. You are not stuck. You are simply being called to remember. The moment you remember who you are, the source, the center, the creative force, everything begins to move. When everything begins to move, you must not question it with the old mind. You must not try to analyze every detail with the intellect that once doubted your own power. For this movement is not born of reason. It is born of faith, born of imagination, born of the sacred current that runs between your inner state and the outer world. Let it flow. Let it unfold. Let it come without resistance.
You may be guided to make a call, to take a step, to send an email, to walk into a place at just the right moment. Do not hesitate. This is not random. It is the outer echo of your inner assumption. The world you see is the world you've imagined. And every encounter, every coincidence, is part of the bridge of incidents that leads you to the physical realization of what you have already accepted within. Now I say this with deep reverence. Your telepathic gift is sacred. It is not to be used to impress others, to prove anything, or to dominate. It is not for spectacle. It is for transformation. When you use it rightly, with love, with grace, with generosity of spirit, the wealth that comes will not be fleeting. It will multiply. It will flow through you. You will not only be a millionaire, you will be a fountain of wealth, blessing others simply by being yourself. And yet, even as your bank account grows, as your home expands, as your opportunities multiply, you will know the truth. It was never about the money. It was always about remembering your power. It was about becoming conscious of what was always within you. The millions are simply a reflection. The true treasure is the self that is awakened. You do not need to strain. You do not need to wait for permission. You do not need to struggle to find the door. You are the door. You are the key. You are the kingdom. Close your eyes, feel the truth, and let the world show you what it always wanted to give, if only you had believed. As you continue in this sacred practice, this inner communion with the state of wealth, you begin to notice something even more profound. The desire for money no longer comes from desperation, but from expression. You begin to understand that wealth is not about accumulation, but circulation. It moves through you, just as light moves through the sun, not to hoard, but to give, to illuminate, to grow. You start seeing others not as competition, but as extensions of yourself. You bless their wealth, knowing it takes nothing from your own. You celebrate their success, because in doing so you strengthen your own telepathic alignment with abundance. And here is a mystery. What you envy you repel. What you bless, you attract. So bless all things rich. Bless the car you see pass that you desire. Bless the home on the hill. Bless the successful business. Bless the man or woman who walks with confidence and prosperity. In doing so you enter the vibration of that thing. You say to the universe, that is mine too. And the universe says, yes, beloved, as you wish. But let me remind you, you must not waver. You must not treat this as an experiment, but as law. The moment you commit to living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must burn the bridges of doubt. There is no retreat. There is only forward, into the vision, into the assumption, into the new self. When the outer world appears to deny your inner state, smile not in sarcasm, but in certainty. For you know that what you see is old, already on its way out. You are now living in the new, and the new, though invisible at first, is more real than the visible. It is cause, it is source, it is truth. This telepathic gift is your inheritance from the infinite. It is the language of God in you. When you speak to yourself in the language of assumption, when you affirm silently with feeling, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am rich now, you are praying without words. You are creating without force. You are radiating without effort. In that radiant state, something extraordinary begins to happen. You no longer seek signs, for your life becomes the sign. You no longer search for proof, because your every breath is proof. The inner world becomes so vivid, so alive, that the outer world has no choice but to yield, to conform, to bend before the power of your conviction. And you begin to realize that what you once called reality was only the echo of an earlier unconscious state of being. You understand now that your world is not responding to your needs, your struggles, or your wishes. It is responding only to your identity. And identity is nothing more than the assumption you choose and occupy. The world is not judging you. It is mirroring you. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you are abundance, abundance appears. If you are wealth, wealth responds. It is a silent agreement, a contract written in consciousness and fulfilled in form. You begin to walk differently, not because your circumstances have changed yet, but because you have changed. And this shift, though invisible to the eye, is undeniable in vibration. The people around you feel it. They can't explain it, but they're drawn to it. They want to help you. They want to buy from you. They want to invest in you. And you haven't even said a word. Why? Because your telepathic gift is broadcasting a frequency so clear, so focused, so certain, that the whole universe is tuning into it. You no longer whisper your desires. You radiate your fulfillment. You no longer beg for money. You exude the energy of one who already has it. And like iron to a magnet, money finds its way to you. This is not arrogance. This is not delusion. This is divine alignment. It is becoming one with the end you seek, until the end is no longer something far away, but the very essence of who you are, now here, embodied. As this embodiment deepens, you find yourself no longer checking for results, no longer seeking confirmation, for the inner experience has become more pleasurable, more satisfying than anything the world could offer. The taste of fulfillment in imagination becomes sweeter than the fruit itself. You know beyond all doubt that what you have assumed will appear. It must appear, for it already exists in you. In this quiet certainty, you become powerful, not by effort, but by presence. You walk into a room, and the atmosphere shifts. You speak, and people listen. You act, and doors open, not because of who you were, but because of who you have become in consciousness. You are no longer reacting to life. You are authoring it. You are no longer influenced by the tide. You are the tide. Each morning before the world stirs, you revisit the scene of your wealth. You close your eyes, not to escape, but to create. You feel the richness of your life, not as hope, but as reality. And you rise from your bed, not as one who waits for miracles, but as one who expects the world to reflect the miracle that has already taken place within. This is the quiet revolution, the transformation from man of need to man of supply, from seeker to source, from wanderer to king. And it is all done in the secret place of the Most High, within the sanctuary of your own imagination. The old world continues to spin its tales of struggle and lack, but you are no longer in it. You live in the kingdom. You reside in the end, and from that high place, you give, you love, you shine, not to gain, but because gain is now your nature. The millionaire is no longer something you aim to become. The millionaire is who you are. When you are the millionaire in consciousness, every action you take flows from that state, not from fear, not from proving, but from knowing. You don't hustle to make ends meet. You move with inspired intention, with the effortless certainty of one whose fortune is already secure. Your conversations carry weight. Your steps carry grace. You don't need to shout, because your silence speaks wealth. You are no longer measuring time in effort, but in alignment. You no longer think, when will it happen? You know it's unfolding now, in perfect order, with divine orchestration. You've stepped out of the anxious timing of the world, and into the eternal now, where all that you desire already exists in the invisible and is swiftly coming into view. Others may look at your life and call it luck, but you know better. You know it was the silent inner act, the unseen assumption, the vivid inner rehearsal that brought everything to pass. The fortune, the home, the respect, the legacy. It was all created when you dared to believe the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You stayed faithful to the unseen long enough for it to become seen. And what once seemed miraculous, now feels natural. You no longer question it. You no longer marvel. It simply is. It is the law. The same law that governs the stars. The same law that lifts the tides. Now works as your silent partner, responding with precision to every inner decree. You are no longer trying to manifest. You are no longer applying a technique. You have become the manifestation. You are the living proof that imagination creates reality. And as you continue, day by day, to return to that state, to feel the joy before the evidence, to embody the end before it arrives, you will watch, with calm amazement, as life bends to fit your assumption. The money will come, the freedom will expand, the world will applaud, but you will smile quietly to yourself, knowing the truth. You didn't chase it, you became it. That, beloved, is the secret all great men and women have lived by, though few ever spoke of it plainly. They knew, as you now know, that reality is not outside in, but inside out. They walked in faith, not because they were religious, but because they understood the power of their inner world. They trusted their imagination more than their senses. They honored their desires as divine instructions, not fleeting wishes. Now you walk among them. You take your place, not as a beggar, asking life to be kind, but as a creator shaping life with vision and certainty. The gift is yours. The power is within. And the wealth, the freedom, the life you once longed for, is no longer something to be hoped for. It is a present reality you carry in every breath, every step, every quiet assumption. There will be days when the old world whispers back to you, tempts you to look at the evidence, urges you to doubt the invisible. But you will know better. You will remain faithful. Not to what is, but to what shall be. You will persist in the inner image. You will return again and again to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And in doing so you will continue to magnetize all that aligns with your state. This is your telepathic gift, to impress upon the infinite, through feeling, what you choose to experience, and to know that the impression will not return void. It must produce after its kind. The only question is whether you will believe long enough, and deeply enough, to allow it to bear fruit. So choose now to believe, choose now to feel, choose now to live, not as one who is trying, but as one who is. For in the kingdom of heaven, which is within you, there is no trying, no lack, no delay, there is only being, and to be is enough. So now, my dear friend, the veil has been lifted. The secret is no longer hidden in mystery or buried beneath layers of doubt. You have within you the telepathic gift, to become all that you desire, including the millionaire you were always meant to be. Not through force, not through frantic striving, but through the simple sacred act of assumption. By living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you send out a signal that the universe cannot ignore. You become the magnet. You become the source. Do not wait for the world to change. Change your inner world, and the outer must follow. This is not a theory. It is law. It is your divine birthright. Wealth, abundance, joy. They are not waiting somewhere out there. They are waiting for you to assume them, to feel them, to believe in them as real now. Go forward with this truth. Let it anchor you. Let it guide you. Let it shape your every thought, every breath, every silent moment. You no longer need to ask for permission to prosper. You no longer need to search for answers outside yourself. You are the answer. You are the source. You are the wealth. Now walk in that knowing. And watch, as the world begins to reflect the millionaire you already are within.